From Los Angeles to a worldwide audience, this is Boaz Power TV, where we take your life to the next level. Now, internationally known speaker and author, here's Boaz.
Hi, welcome to the Power Show. You are part of the Power Nation, and I'm so delighted that you're here. This is episode number 110 on Boaz Power TV, and here we help you to improve your attitude, your relationships, your finances, and your health, taking your life to the next level. This one is called a tournament of cooperation. A tournament of cooperation. You know, as time moves quickly, a lot of people choose to simply be observers in life. A small group chooses to participate. When I was 9 years old, my parents chose to participate in the great American opportunity by immigrating to the United States from Israel. Since the uncle who sponsored us to come here lived in Oklahoma, we settled in Tulsa. The summers there were hot and humid. If you live in the Midwest, you understand the winters were cold and snowy. And every New Year's Day, I remember it was a family tradition to watch the Tournament of Roses parade on television. Taking place in Pasadena, California, the parade was a magnificent spectacle of flower-covered floats, bands, equestrian units, and a dose of patriotism. It also did a great job of showing the bright sunshine, blue skies, and green palm trees that exemplify Southern California. And you know, I'd watch that parade every New Year's Day and vowed that one day I would do something about my desire to live in that climate. After all, that's where I was from, in the Middle East, the Mediterranean climate, the palm trees, and warm all year round. How many times have you watched life's parade passing by and vowed that one day you would take action on an important goal? Well, it was in 1985 that I finally took action by moving to San Diego, and every New Year's Day I kept watching that amazing world spectacle known as the Rose Parade on television. Every year I thought that someday I'd like to go and see that parade in person. Benjamin Franklin said that the word someday is equivalent to failure. Be careful how you use that word. It is closely tied to observer rather than participant. So, in the fall of one year, a few years ago, I decided to become a participant in this goal. I made a few calls and quickly identified the Pasadena company that sells tickets for seats in the grandstands that line the Rose Parade route. Amazingly, it was not that expensive to purchase a reserved seat in a large viewing stand at the beginning of the parade route. You know, where you see that behind the television cameras, the big viewing stands. That's where I got a ticket. And that's where the television networks positioned their cameras. Nearby reserved parking and a program were all part of the deal. Such a deal. Now the months passed quickly, and suddenly it was New Year's Eve. Not wanting to drive from San Diego to Pasadena during the night, I'd previously reserved a hotel room just a few miles away from Pasadena. And excitement mounted as I made my way up the coast that New Year's Eve, and after checking into my hotel room in Monterey Park, I realized that the early morning traffic into Pasadena would be heavy. Thus, I decided to identify a route to Colorado Boulevard, the famous street of the Rose Parade. Heading north from the hotel, I finally turned onto Colorado Boulevard. The sight I saw that evening as I inched through heavy traffic was unbelievable. This is the night before the parade. Every inch of the sidewalks for the 60-plus blocks of the parade route was filled with people. They weren't standing around. Here were tens of thousands of people camping out. There were folding chairs, lawn chairs, air mattresses, portable barbecue grills, and lots of blankets. In order to assure a curbside viewing spot, many had come as much as 48 hours ahead of the parade. To ward off the cold nights, some brought portable heaters. There were people of all ages and many nationalities. They were socializing, cooking meals, playing cards, and sleeping whenever possible. I had never seen such a sight before. It was amazing. What was also amazing was the apparent peaceful cooperation among these thousands of people. The police would later report very few arrests for disorderly conduct. And the next morning, New Year's Day, I rose at 5 a.m. and headed for Pasadena. And as I passed Colorado Boulevard and headed for my assigned parking spot and the parking garage, the masses of the overnight sidewalk campers seemed to have swelled. However, once again, there were few apparent problems. Instead, I noticed many smiling faces and a fun, festive atmosphere. Walking from my parking spot to my nearby grandstand seat, I became part of a mass of humanity filling Colorado Boulevard. The crowd estimate for that day's parade was 800,000 people. And yet the underlying tone was great cooperation. The city of Pasadena does itself proud each year as it manages such a large world event. Now, situated in my grandstand seat with the worldwide media coverage at my location, the Rose Parade began promptly at 8 a.m. The first of numerous patriotic moments occurred soon as the Air Force Band marched by. At the same time, on cue, 3 Air Force jets did a low-level flyover. The jet in the center was the unusually shaped stealth bomber. Oh my gosh, you could literally feel thousands of people getting goosebumps of awe and patriotic pride as those jets made a complete parade route pass, turned and flew back over Colorado Boulevard. There were 49 incredible floats, many bands, and numerous equestrian units in the parade. Now, it's one thing to see the Rose Parade on television as an observer, as I did as a little boy in Oklahoma, but it's a whole different world to see it in person as a participant. As the parade concluded, 800,000 people dispersed in an orderly, cooperative fashion. Of the various positive lessons from that day, the one about massive cooperation led the parade for me. Is there more that you could do in your life to promote cooperation? Perhaps that could help you become more of a participant in life. Time moves quickly. If not you, who? And if not now, when? Here's the affirmation for this edition of Boaz Power TV. It's an affirmation of cooperation. You may want to write it down. I promote cooperation wherever I go. I participate in the great adventure that is life. Once again, and you may want to write this down, I promote cooperation wherever I go. I participate in the great adventure that is life. And it is a great adventure for me to have you joining me on Boaz Power TV. And if you like these messages, and many people around the world do, please forward this to 5 people you know and suggest they go to my website, boazpower.com, so they can also subscribe to these free weekly messages on Boaz Power TV. You are special, you are unique, you are destined for greatness. I see it in you. You are a champion. Have a powerful day.
This has been Boaz Power TV. To comment, see other episodes, or to subscribe to this free broadcast, go to our blog at boazpower.com. That's boazpower.com. We're here to take your life to the next level.